Hi, I'm Michael Vaughan and welcome to Cricbuzz. Over the next few weeks, it's the Test Series, England versus India. And every day you're going to be able to catch me and Harsha on Cricbuzz Chatter at the end of every day's play. Now what we're going to do, Harsha's done the SWOT analysis of the Indian side. I've got to do the SWOT analysis of the England side. Here goes. The strengths of the England side are home conditions. There's not many teams that come here and beat England in Test match cricket. New Zealand did it recently in the two Test match series. They won 1-0. England had a few players missing in those two games. Joe Root is only lost one series at home, and that was that series that's just been against New Zealand. The strengths are with the bowling department. Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad. The ball swinging and seaming around. That is England's main strength here in the UK. The pitches, I'm sure they'll offer a little bit for the seam bowlers. So Broad and Anderson, that combination, the legendary experienced pair, are really the main strengths of this England Test match side. Well, the weaknesses are England's batting, and they're going to be without Ben Stokes, who has been England's best Test match batter in English conditions over the last 3 years, averaging around 44. That top order has been very fragile. Joe Root, a lot on his shoulders, started the year very nicely with a couple of double centuries. Since then, he's yet to get a 50 in his last 11 innings. So a little bit of pressure on Joe Root, particularly with no Ben Stokes. And I think India will be looking at that batting lineup and knowing that if they get early wickets and get Joe Root out there quickly, they can put the England captain under a lot of pressure. So the weakness really from an England perspective is the batting. Can they get enough runs? And that's always been the challenge over the last few years. If they get enough runs, the bowling department generally looks after them. But it really is a kind of series and a team that batting lineup looks very fragile from an England perspective. Well, the opportunities for the England side, it is that batting lineup to become consistent. The likes of Crawley, Sibley and Burns at the top of the order. I'm pretty sure they'll get another run of games in this series. They're under pressure, they'll know that, but with pressure becomes that opportunity of scoring runs, creating partnerships. 5 tests against India are always very special. After that, it's the Ashes series in Australia. So the opportunity is there for all these players that get the chance to play against India to make sure they're on that plane to Australia. You don't want to miss out on an Ashes series when you get so close to being a part of the team. So there's the opportunity from the England perspective, that batting lineup, be consistent, score runs, beat India and make sure that you're on the plane to Australia in a few months' time. The threat from the England side is the wickets. I've mentioned swing and seam, but we've had hot conditions here in England over the last few weeks. The pitches will be dry. They may leave an element of grass on the surface just to try and get the ball carrying through, but underneath that green grass, the pitches are very, very dry. We're seeing it in the 100 over the last week or so, that most pitches, the spinners are coming into their own, the ball's spinning. New Zealand in that Test match against England at Edgbaston, the ball was spinning, and that was back in June. I know it's always surprising when you hear it, but we've had really hot conditions here in the UK. And when you start playing Test matches in August and September, history tells you that the spinners come into the equation. And with Jadeja, Ashwin, we know how good those two are as a spin twin pair. That really is the threat from an England perspective. It swings and seams and the spinners don't come into the equation, England will fancy the chances. But without that, and then spin is a big equation, you have to say that India are a massive threat with those spinners that I've just mentioned. Right, this is what you all like. You seem to always want a prediction from me. I know I get a few right, a few wrong, but no Ben Stokes. The fact that New Zealand beat this Test match team here in the UK just recently, India will win this series. It's the best chance that they'll ever have. I know the last couple of times they've been here, they had high hopes, but then just faltered for whatever reason. They've just not managed to get enough runs. They'll never get a better chance. With no Ben Stokes, England trying to balance the side, it's going to be very, very difficult. They're either going to have to go with a batter light or a bowler light. So it's going to be difficult for Joe Root. August, September, spin will play a part. I'm going to predict that India, and I hate to say this, are going to win 3-1.